Every single time you think they can't stoop any lower, they are going to show up and show out. Hi guys, it's Gigi. Welcome back to the channel. There are going to be so many people who are affected by all of this nonsense that is happening right now. But instead of getting all emotional and going into a ball, be preparing. A recession is upon us. What some analysts are saying, we may even go into a Great Depression. How many people have lost their jobs, their federal jobs, their private sector jobs because businesses are closing? They are just taking the money and running. And we're left, the people who are not the rich people, we're just left in a mess and left to figure it out on our own. There has been so much that's been happening. The worst thing that we can possibly do is get into an emotional state and not make smart strategic moves for our lives. The majority of Americans right now are living paycheck to paycheck. I know a lot of people are thinking, how much worse can it get? Buckle in and hold on for the ride. This is going to be the ride of our lives. If I didn't have faith and a lot of faith, I would be really terrified right now. Everything that is happening right now is leading up to the perfect storm, perfect combination of events that are going to lead to a lot of unrest. You better be ready. A lot of people are not going to be able to afford food. You better be ready. You better be getting outside in those gardens, starting a garden, put a seed in some dirt. Don't make it complicated. There are tons of us out here that are giving information on how to grow things and how to help your family. You better get the information because nobody is coming to help you. Banks are out here going crazy. They're closing people's accounts. As a matter of fact, let me tell you one of the things that they did to one of my business banking accounts. I was going in, paying bills, and to my surprise, the limit on that particular credit card had been reduced by roughly $1,200. Yeah. And that's their business. They can do whatever they choose. It's their card. You know, we owe them and we have to pay them. So whatever. However, what I noticed was the amount was so strategic. The way that I had this account structured, this is where all of my monthly expenses were coming from. And so what that would have done to me if I had not looked into that account, and guys, be checking your bank accounts. Get your money out. Take your money, leave enough in to pay your bills or whatever, and then the rest of your money, get it out. This happened to be a credit card, so I really couldn't fuss about it. I couldn't argue about it. I've never been late. I don't know why they all of a sudden decided to reduce my credit amount by $1,200. But what it did was it put the new credit card limit about $100 off from what I owed them. And when I thought about it, I was like, okay, let me see what I have coming out of this account. And if I wouldn't have logged into that account that particular day, all of the things that were coming out of the account would have equaled more than $100, which would have did what? Pushed me over the limit, made me pay over the limit fees, messed up my credit, my business credit, etc., etc., etc. There would have been just a snowball chain of events that would have happened if I wouldn't have been looking at that account. So I'm just going to say to you, be looking at your account. I am seeing that there are so many banks that are currently closing out people accounts like with no notice, like with zero notice. And now, mind you, the reduction on this account came with no prior notice. I actually got the notice about 3 weeks later in the mail that they were actually reducing the account. So they have my phone number. They could have called me. They could have sent me an email. They have my email. They could have sent me an email saying that your account limit is going to be reduced by this amount. They could have done so many things, but the greed is so out of control. They're willing to do anything to keep the working people just padding their pockets. If I would have gone over that limit, then have all of these fees that I now have to work harder in order to get enough money to pay all of the over the limit fees, to pay all of the accelerated interest charges that they then would have charged me because it would have been over the limit in that particular case. They stack and they come up with new fees, and they send you these notices every now and again that they're going to change something. You better be reading. You better be reading those notices. You better be knowing what is happening, because their goal is to get every single dime that you have. Be paying attention. Get your money. Stack up, stock up, do whatever you have to do, grow some food, combine with some family members in order to help each other to survive what is coming. A recession is coming. There's going to be man-made things that are happening: sickness, famine, the inability to afford food, homelessness, joblessness. There's so much stuff that is coming at us. If you're still not paying attention and you still think that a lot of people out here are just blowing hot air, good luck to you. I'll just bid you good luck. And don't get caught up in the things that the media wants you to see. Don't get caught up in all of the hype. Don't get caught up in anything that's going to take your attention off of what is really happening around you. And at the end of the day, when this stock market crashes, when this food is too expensive to buy, when you're fighting with your friends, people who you thought were your friends, when everybody is just looking out for self and not willing to help anybody anymore because they can't afford to help anybody anymore. They can only afford to take care of their family. They can only afford to put food on their table. It's just going to get ugly. And let me run right back to that stock market crashing. It's probably going to crash. There's every indication that it's going to crash. However, it's not going to stay down. Please understand that there's nothing new under the sun. There's so many things that just happen in rotation. Everything happened in cycles. This is nothing new. This is not something that has not happened before that we're having to survive right now. It's just new for us in the era that we're in. The people in the Great Depression had to go through that. That was real. People during the time where the wind storms, the dust storms were blowing out of control, the people had to survive that. So just make sure that you are aware that you are waking up, and wake your family up. Try to help them as much as possible, because you're going to need each other. You're going to need each other. I'm so sorry to be the bearer of bad news. And I know in some instances, it's probably easier for you to be able to just be a lone wolf or whatever. And that's fine if that's how you choose to do it. But I know that people can go further when they actually work together. So if you can find people that can work together with you, who can commune with you, who can form survival tribes together, all of the movies that are giving you warnings. I did a live stream Christmas Day 2023 about the movie Leave the World Behind, and was talking about some of the things that I observed in that movie. And I saw a lot of people putting up videos and doing different things after that about that same movie. And I was like, yes, people are getting it. People are seeing it. People are understanding now the importance of making sure that you're working together, making sure that you're paying attention, and that a lot of these things are not for your entertainment. I get it that everybody just wants to be entertained. They want to be high. They want to be drunk. They want to not deal with the reality of what is going on in the world. My almost 50 years in this world, we've only ever survived through all of the hardships and all of the stuff that we went through by having family, by having friends who looked out for us, who gave us some chicken thighs and some rice when it was necessary. It's always great when you have people around you when things are going well, but when you are in the bottom, when you are at your lowest time, who is there then? Those are the people that you can truly depend on to be a part of your life and to help you to survive whatever is coming. Get whatever you need. Use your resources. Pray a lot. I know I'm going to see a lot of, you got to trust God. You got to trust God. That's the only way that I survive, is by trusting God. I don't have any qualms with trusting God. But God also said, you better be preparing for famine. You better be preparing to protect your people and your family and your villages and whatever it is that you've built. Think about what you need to survive now. Think about it and get it together. All of the distraction that is happening in society right now is just that. It's just distraction. If you have not been one of the privileged, guess what? You're going to be fine. You're going to go through some stuff. It's still going to be hard, but we are the people that always survive. Just prepare, do what you need to do in order to care for your family. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.